As we have down to the bottom right side of the map, our blue Zerg from Root Gaming. It is Hydra. And away to the top left side, we're going to have our red Terran player. It is MajOr. And guys, don't be afraid to hit that follow button. Keep up to date with all of my streams. All of my content that I'm putting out here on the channel. We are live more or less every single day. We'll definitely be live every single day until 27th of August, when I advise you all go and watch... I advise then you all go and watch Shoutcraft Kings rather than wanting to watch anything on my channel. So, and then after that we come back and we've got matches every single day for another week again. So it's very, very busy times. Busy month actually. Some good stuff. Then September we're going to have some new events as well on the channel. It's going to be good. Really looking forward to it, guys, as we get up into this now. To the top left hand side of the map, our red Terran player is going to be MajOr. And to the bottom right hand side, our blue Zerg from Root Gaming, it's Hydra. Did I introduce the players already? Maybe I did. If I did, then I'm just going to introduce them again because I've already done it. Apologies, couldn't quite remember there. You know, one of those times you start talking about other things and then all of a sudden you just can't quite remember what happened earlier. We are going to see a factory coming up here nice and quickly from MajOr. There's such a gas first Reaper where he's going to be able to get his factory down very quickly after the expansion. So gas first Reaper expands, something we've seen here and there in the TVZ. Intrigued to see what exactly this becomes from MajOr here. Of course, we saw Hydra looking a little bit unconfident in the TVZ actually a little bit earlier against Marine Lord, again 0-2'd there. Sort of, I mean, it was a very close, tense game number 1, and then game 2 you went for this aggressive attack which just completely fell apart. You know, it just didn't work at all. It really, really didn't. So, just to see how this one goes, we're going to see this grenade going to be popped down by the Reaper. Let's try and get a little bit of damage done. The Zerglings just moving around. And again, Reaper just trying to see what he can get up to. Going to drop another grenade. Queen gets blasted over to the side a little bit. And, yeah, a few Zerglings just going to be coming in, targeting down some rocks. MajOr going to go for a Hellion-based opening, and what he could go into as well is maybe Tech Lab on this racks and start setting up in towards a Banshee playstyle. So that's a possibility. He could just go for Stimpack here and also Medevac and drop the Hellions, or Liberator just to harass with. Obviously there is a lot of different possibilities there, so lots of different possibilities. We do see a couple of Hellions popping out from MajOr. They are going to be probably heading across the map here pretty swiftly. I would imagine, more so than anything else. Just going to see that Reaper grenade coming down once again, just doing a little bit more here. As we'll see those Zerglings again just moving around and just seeing what they can get up to. Again, that Reaper just going to get away, obviously doesn't want to overcommit. He has picked off a couple of, one worker and one ling, so not too bad of a start. Whenever you kill off a Zergling or a drone early on, I think it's quite nice. We see the starport actually on the Tech Lab, but he's building a Liberator. Now, as Hydra scouted in there, he did see the lack of a cloak. I wonder if MajOr fakes the cloak and like starts it up now. You know, Hydra scouts in again. He might not think Liberator though. He might just think Cloakless Banshee, which is also a possibility. And if he thinks Cloakless Banshee, well, actually, he might prepare for that by just gathering Queens together rather than Spore Crawlers behind the mineral lines and stuff. You know. So that's quite interesting here. As we are going to see those Hellions just going to be turned away by those Queens for now. Zergling's going to gather themselves just around. Not sure exactly where they want to go. And again, those Hellions just going to be sitting towards the edge of the creep, denying a creep tumor. Just some good map control here early. Liberator comes across the map. Hydra no response to this just yet with any Spore Crawlers or anything. We see another couple of creep tumors being killed off, but it does cost him a Hellion this time. And there's a Spore Crawler coming down, but maybe just a little bit late. As we're going to be seeing that Liberator sieging up. Does get one worker kill. Not too much done just yet. We actually see more Hellions have been made, so they're going to get ready to run by too. And actually, I don't think Hydra's prepared for so many more Zerglings to come in here. We're going to see this Liberator going to unsiege, just going to move away from that Spore, reposition itself somewhere else in the near future, I'm assuming. As we're going to be seeing the Hellions coming forwards, and we're going to see one Hellion going down very quickly. These Lings coming in though, and they're actually going to get a bit of a surround. MajOr loses one more Hellion, doesn't lose the others just yet. Nice control to pull those back. The Liberator is still to the right hand side, looking to see what he can do once again here. Going to be moving in towards that main base, going to be sieging up, and just looking to get, again, a little bit extra damage done here over the next few minutes. So, another drone. Oh, he actually hits a Queen there, so he will still get one or two more drones. That's about it. So, small harassment here early from MajOr. You'll see small Hellions on the way. He's actually going into a third CC in position and armory on the way up. I wonder if he just plays mech slash Sky Tower, and it is something Major's been a big fan of in the past, and something he could continue to do. Right now, the Liberators are, the starport is on a reactor, so the reactoring out Liberators 2 at a time. I'm going to see him finding this Overseer to the right hand, or morphing into the side as well. I don't think he kills it before it becomes an Overseer, but obviously even when it's an Overseer, it will be, it shouldn't really be able to get away. Even if Pneumatized Carapace, Liberators should... Do they not keep up? Nah, they do. Or do they not? Oh wow, I didn't know that. So Overseer a little bit too fast there for the Liberators to keep up with. As you do see them just moving across, seeing what they can do. And there's the extra starports plus 1 ship weapons as well. And a little bit of a Hellbat attack coming up here. As we see, well actually Hydra's gone into a Spire already, so he's sort of figured out what this is going to be. Zerglings running on in, they're not going to be the best of units to use against Hellbats. They are getting a roasting right now, but the sheer number of them plus the Queens is helping out. Obviously the Liberators not deciding to siege up there, just going to back away. Very much risky for the 7-month grease up, says land it in 2-month hype. Hype indeed. Very much risky. Appreciate the 7 months. It's crazy because I actually remember when you subbed at LAN, and that doesn't seem like so long ago, and that's actually going to be 2 LANs ago now. Like, what on earth? Isn't that ridiculous? Zerglings coming up the top side. They're going to look to try and maybe run by in towards this third base. As you see, Liberators coming forwards. I'm just going to be getting rid of an Overlord there. So an Overlord does go down. Hellions join together and another Liberator out the front. Again, it is just going to be the Sky Terran playstyle. So Liberators, Banshees. We'll see a Fusion Core probably coming up to get Liberator range. But also that Hyper Flight Rotors going to be important to you for the Banshees. Be able to keep them away from the Corruptors. Be able to move around the map and harass with them as time goes by. So here we go. A lot of Corruptors coming across here. This is interesting because he might try and caustic spray down a command center. But a turret in position. I think there's plenty of Liberators as well to fight against this too. So here we go. Corruptor's going to move forwards. More turrets being built. I like this actually by Major just saying, well, if you want to attack me, it's not going to happen. You're going to be attacking into a very bad position. There's going to be seeing those Liberators trying to get a shot off into the center of the Corruptors there. Not quite happening. Just going to be seeing the Corruptors. Well, there we go. Caustic spraying down this third base now. That's something Major will have to try and find a way to maybe fight on into. And he's just going to start poking. He needs to repair that orbital command. Here we go. We're going to see the commitment in. Zerglings running forwards with a few Roaches too. Corruptors are fighting in the turrets, and well, Hydra, he's taking quite a lot of damage, so a lot of damage done, a lot of Corruptors lost, and this wasn't a good fight for him at all. The Hellbats will hold off the Roaches on the ground as well, and they'll just continue to try and carry away here towards the end. Liberators come in once more and just keep on trying to fight. They don't do a lot of damage to the Corruptors, but the splash definitely does add up and help out. Still lots of Roaches on the ground. We maybe need another couple of Banshees coming in here, or a couple of Liberators to siege just to help kind of push this back. We've got a Raven coming out as well, which is interesting. I wonder if he uses that for PGD or an auto turret. Either a possibility. So let's be careful of those missile turrets though. Those missile turrets really kind of the bane of the Corruptors right now, stopping them from ever really getting close successfully. Roaches dancing in and out. They're going to build a well, kill off a couple of missile turrets here. Auto turret does get dropped on the ground by the Raven. A couple of Banshees moving forward. There's actually nothing at all right now to actually kill off these couple of Corruptors, which means as we see the Liberators going down, I mean the Banshees are all that's really left to fight against the Roaches. Hydra right now is behind on workers, but ahead in army supplies. These Roaches make their way into the natural expansion, and we're going to see Major go into defense mode. Now he does get rid of the Corruptors, which means the Liberators can siege up and help to get rid of these Roaches as well. SCVs, a lot of them will go down, but again, Hydra's behind on workers, so he had to do some damage here. And so for Major, it's not great, but it's not the end of the world. As we do see him coming in, though, he's going to Hydra pick off a lot of these add-ons onto the starport and the factory as well. Now delay a little bit of production time here. No more Banshee production for a little while until Tech Lab rebuilds. Less Liberator production as well is going to be a pretty big deal. And eventually he does clean this up. But look at this, another wave of Zerglings coming on in. There's Hellions still being made. Now only one at a time, however, because of losing the reactor on the factory. SCVs have to pull away from the third base. 35 workers lost, but still an incredibly close game in terms of army supply. The work count a bit down for Major, but he does have triple mule. And so, all said and done, we're in a situation now where Major's actually not quite dead still. One Banshee still working away in the main base. He still has 38 SCVs because he's kept up his SCV production during this. Actually lands the Vikings now, which he got out to help deal with the Corruptors. So lands the Vikings, getting rid of a few more Zerglings. And these last couple of Roaches in the main base will go down as well. 20 workers down, but again, triple mule in play, triple CC to rebuild with. It's not that big a deal. 46 workers, yes, it's a lot to lose, but again, he started off on a good work account, and he should be able to rebuild fast enough as well. So, all said and done, Hydra's aggression, I didn't think it was working at first, but then he did break through, he did make, he did start to get something done with that there. And there's a couple of roaches going to burrow, some tunnel enclosed roaches now moving in, but guess what? Missile turrets are coming up, and he should see these very quickly. These first two roaches not going to be too successful at all. He actually turns away after seeing the missile turrets. Can actually go pop up, get a shot or two off, actually bring more roaches forwards as well. It's interesting what MajOr kind of makes now. He adds on 2 more starports, obviously, but what does he go for? Does he go for a heavier Banshee count? Does he go for more Liberators to help against maybe Corruptors coming out? It's weird because he's sort of a reactionary player in a lot of ways in this game. As the Banshees don't actually have cloaks, so they can't cloak up to save themselves from these Corruptors. That would have been a worthwhile investment to keep 2 Banshees alive rather than just losing them. I mean, obviously it was a bit of a mistake for him to have them out here in the middle of nowhere anyways. But, yeah, no cloak is interesting because he should want to harass with these Banshees. A couple of Banshees to the 4th base, for example, would get so much damage done in the near future. There's just nothing here to protect. Now, obviously, there's Corruptors out, but they're out of position. So, a couple of Banshees here or there would be really, really nice. And that's obviously what those 2 Banshees were meant to be doing. But instead, now we find ourselves, now we find MajOr without enough Banshees to maybe realistically move across the map with. And so, that limits his harassment. And that can definitely hurt. Hyperflight Rotors is one of those things which you would expect to see the Fusion Core up for or ready for. Because with Hyperflight Rotors, he can avoid Corruptors as they come in to deal with them, and then he can maybe be a bit more confident out on the map with those Banshees. Hydra's gone into some heavy Roach production here. Most in a few Ravagers. Obviously he's got the Corruptors. I'm just not sure how confident I feel for Hydra as he moves in. He's going to go in from the left-hand side. There's plenty of Vikings though. They'll get rid of the Corruptors quite easily this time around. They do a lot more damage than the Liberators do against the Corruptors. That actually means as well that we probably see the Liberators able to siege up against this as MajOr begins to position himself over to this side. Just going to be seeing these Liberators just going to start sieging up. The Vikings will come forwards there, obviously here to deal with these Corruptors. And you can see the Corruptors going down pretty quick. A PDD comes down to protect for a while as well. As we see at the same time, a few Hellions run by towards this right-hand side base. This main fight continues though, and the Roaches and Ravagers go down. MajOr is going to clean up. And we see him at 51 workers to the 47. As we see these Vikings continuing to deal damage to the Corruptors. You guys are calling me out for saying MajOr being behind 23 workers is kind of a bigger deal, but it's not. I mean, he's on triple CC, so triple mule makes up about 10 to 12 workers, and then 10 workers is a minute of production. That's not a lot, That it's actually, Hydra just loses here, but she'll bring us. Let's see if MajOr plays more of the same. He loves this playstyle. He's played it a lot lately. DreamHack Valencia and in other places as well. To the bottom left side, our blue Zerg player from Root Gaming. It is going to be Hydra. Down 1 game now in this best of 3. And to the upper right side is going to be our red Terran player from Invasion Esports. It is MajOr. So as we set up into game 2 of this now. It was an interesting approach from Hydra. We actually see a barracks on the way down, so we're going to see some proxy racks Reaper opening. But, yeah, I mean, it was an interesting approach from Hydra because he basically said, I don't want this to go late game. I don't want to build into kind of a super army. I just want to go Corruptor Roach and try and bust you down. So he threw units after units after units. He didn't take up behind it. Still 50 workers killed. It doesn't matter that he lost 50 workers, though, because he started 15 workers ahead. Lost 50. He was building all the time. He lost 50 over the course of like a minute and a half, 2 minutes. So he's building workers during that time of triple CC as well. So he loses 50 workers, but he's killing so many roaches. He's not far behind. I'm completely confident that he was not far behind the economy. I will go in the replay after we're done the casting today, and I'm almost certain he will be manning pretty comfortably and be okay. I don't think he was in a bad position. I'm standing by it. Anyway, Proxy Rax Reaper, and actually only 1 Rax, so he's just going to expand back at home while applying some pressure here early. Intriguing to see what he's trying to do with this. Obviously, he might force an overreaction from his opponent. See how it's going to go. SCV coming in. Just going to be seeing the SCV scatting around and just seeing what's up early on. A couple of Lings going to chase this away, and it is a pool first, which MajOr spots, which is nice. Obviously, the pool first here can be used as a way to kind of deter from the 3 Rax Reaper, and it is a proxy Rax Reaper, so actually it is going to shut this down early, and we actually see Hydra going for that aggression we saw on the game number 1 against Or game number 2, sorry, against Marine Lord on Frozen Temple. He opened in the same way, pull first into a very aggressive roach push, and that roach run is halfway done now. So we're just going to be seeing this Ling speed on the way up, and obviously again the roach run on the way down. Hydra going for a very aggressive follow-up. One of the main things for him here is to try and deny the scouting of MajOr, and MajOr isn't getting the scouting, so this is good from Hydra so far. He's keeping this Reaper away. He's not allowed the Reaper to see the gas, he's not allowed the Reaper to see the roach roaring. Denying the information is good, as we see. Actually, a couple of Marines got made out of that barracks before he got sent back home. Factory is up over here, building a reactor. It doesn't bode well right now for MajOr. No Marine production out of the barracks because it's floating back home. Factory building a reactor. It doesn't look as though he's going to have the units he needs to deal with an aggressive roach Ling push. As we're going to be seeing those Lings going to be moving out towards the upper right hand side. They're going to look to get some damage done as well, of course, in the near future. I'm just going to be seeing a Ravager morphing in. I mean, here we go. I mean, attack coming in, so let's see if Hydra's going to be able to break MajOr here. I really feel he is. Free army supply from MajOr. He's just been building reactors, building 2 Hellions. He's not going to have enough to deal with this big roach attack. Hellions are not the answer against so many roaches. And he's even started up a third command center. Yeah, MajOr's just completely dead. This attack from Hydra this time around, the second time I've seen it today, is going to work out wonderfully for him. The Lings, Marines coming down to low ground to protect. More Lings run in. MajOr's just going to lose a lot. And there's the roaches and the Ravager. And this is just going to be too much damage done. I think he'll break through the reactor, stop some of the extra Hellion production. And he takes the Corrosive Bile as well to help out with that. And through we go. We do see a tech lab on the starport. So Banshee is going to start building. A couple of Corrosive Biles coming down and just going to help out. But this is going to be a lot of workers lost. And yes, there's a third CC building, but it's not finished just yet. And there's just so much to get rid of here that these SCVs are just going to keep on dropping. I mean, maybe the Banshee eventually deals with this, but the reality is he's just going to have lost way too much before that is ever going to become a factor in this game. GG for MajOr. And this game number 2 is going to be game number 1. And game number 3, sorry, I'm awful with numbers. Alright, to the top left hand side, our blue Zerg player, it's going to be Root Gaming's Hydra. And to the bottom right hand side, Invasion Esports, MajOr. So Hydra went pool first on this map previously. With that pool first, he went into kind of what we just saw in Galactic Process. This is when he played against Marine Lord. So this time, let's see what MajOr wants to do. It is going to be a gas first, so maybe a gas first Reaper opening into the probably like an expansion in a fast factory after that. So let's see how this goes as we set up into the third game. Hydra going to go hatch first this time around. So he's going to open with the hatch gas pool. So hatch gas pool coming in here and just going to be seeing him setting up. Into a fairly standard game. Again, intrigued by the gas first open. I feel this gas first Reaper play is interesting in the TVZ because the TVP and TVT, you can understand why you want a fast factory. So I was intrigued to see what exactly the Terran player does when they do go for in the TVZ. He'll actually go scout across the map here, wants to make sure he's not under a lot of pressure super early, not against a pool first, etc. Playing safe here after the aggression in game number 2. You'll see Command Center coming down now as well. So he is expanding, the factory will come down next. And that Reaper on the way out to get across the map and try and figure out what exactly is going on, what exactly is happening on the other side after the SCV scout. Going to be seeing the hatchery starts up the Queen. 2 Queens on the way. And there's the factory from MajOr. So with a reactor coming down, I mean, he went this, went for a similar thing in game number 1. I wonder if he tries to play the, I wonder if he goes for kind of a similar thing here as to what he did on Galactic Process. Sorry, not Galactic Process, as on King Sage on Station, because he did open Gas vs Reaper on that map as well. So maybe just like a Hellion / Hellbat based opening with some form of starport based aggression. And just sort of go from that point on and play a similar game, the kind of Sky Terran style once more. Be intriguing if we did see that. I wonder what exactly Hydra would do if he was to play the same sort of aggressive style against it, or if he would play a little bit more passively and not throw his Corruptors into so many missile turrets and, just let the game go a bit longer, get up into hive so he has Vipers available to him as well. As we're just going to be seeing Reaper, again, just harassing wants to try and pick off any Zerglings. Any damage he does now adds up as the game goes by. It's only a small amount of damage, but again, one less Zergling is one less Zergling, one less drone is one less drone. So if the Reaper finds an opportunity to do damage, he may as well get it done. Factory going to pop out a couple of Hellions, 2 more on the way. Again, it does look very similar to what we saw back on King Sejong Station, as that starport is going to be land onto the Tech Lab. Let's see if this time around we do see the Liberator once again, or if we're going to see this time actually a Banshee play. Because again, last time he put the Liberator out, got the Liberator out of this, despite the fact it was a Tech Lab starport. This is going to be interesting because this time Hydra comes in, he sees the cloak, he'll see the starport obviously going to be building a Banshee. So 4 Hellions going to move over, and actually looks as though MajOr is not going to play a similar style. He's going to drop his racks down onto the reactor, starts a Tech Lab on the factory, and it looks as though MajOr here is going to be looking to play a playstyle where it's just not going to be the same. He's going to play just more standard bio sort of game. As we see, the Hellions actually do make their way in towards the main. I see some drones being pulled off the line. Only 1 drone killed so far. There's 2 and 3. Oh, actually only 2 so far still. Wow, really good defense by Hydra. Really minimizing the damage, although he's still stacked up here. 1 more shot. 6 workers killed, so not too many. 6 workers killed is... yeah, it's not too many. It's a lot, but not too much. So good stuff there. 6 workers killed. Going to see this Banshee from MajOr going to move out onto the map as well. So Banshee going to move out. We see this command center from MajOr. Well, obviously moving into 3rd base as he goes into Liberator now as well. Okay, I wonder if he just goes tank defensively then. He actually cancels his Banshee cloak. I wonder if he just goes for a defensive tank and then into the extra starports. He is only on 2 gases though, so a lot of questions here as to what MajOr's exact build order will be. It could be anything right now. Spy on the way up once again from Hydra, so maybe looking to kind of defend this in a similar way to before. Early Corruptors coming in. Yeah, I mean, he was building that early lair for quite some time. It wasn't like a 2 base meter or 2 base lair build. It was like what is called like a 3 base lair build, where you go into the lair ASAP off of 3 bases, off of 3 hatcheries. Let's see the Banshee going to be trying to get into position again. Just pick off a drone there to begin with. Gonna get a 2nd drone as well. It's low in health though, so it has to start getting out of there. That Queen might actually just catch it being on creep spread. Oh, just about gets away. So MajOr, of course, now keeping that Banshee alive, can pull it back home, repair it up, maybe harass some more. As Hydra just sat here with an Overlord in the main base, is going to see that this is extra barracks coming down and engineering base as well. And so we get confirmation as well as to what this is going to be. And that is indeed just going to be the bio playstyle. So it did look different from MajOr, and it is indeed going to be different. As we do see the Liberator just going to pull back away from the natural expansion. Zergling's going to collect here together in the center as well. And that 3rd orbital command just going to be finishing up very soon. The Liberator will be used to actually get rid of this Overlord creeping up the 3rd base, which is nice. And the racks, well, more racks will come in. We'll see double engineering base start up their upgrade soon as well. I like MajOr's position. I mean, he's gone into kind of an opening where he's in a good spot. He's got triple base, 50 SCVs against the 55 drones. It feels good for him. Now, there is the muters on the way out, and the muters can, of course, get quite some damage done. Currently, MajOr, okay, now he begins to prepare for this. He gets a turret in towards the natural. Nothing in the main, though. He's got a good number of Marines, but has to make sure they're kept together, because once he starts splitting up, once those muters start taking down a couple of Marines here, a couple of Marines there, that's when things become an issue. But actually, MajOr, I mean, he saw the lair early, right? So he's actually seen the Spire 2 with the Liberators. He made 2 more Liberators. He's actually going to have plenty to do with these muters, and actually those muters already taking quite a bit of damage, being pushed away to the side. One muter gets popped, and the others getting very, very low on health as well. As those muters again just continue to take damage. No damage done by them just yet, which is the important thing, because if MajOr deflects without taking damage at all, well, his position in this game just gets even better. As we're going to be seeing the turret coming in, and just going to be, again, targeting down the muters a little bit, as here come the Liberators. Oh, the muters are stuck here. 2 more going down. That's going to be that final one as well. No! He actually gets the muter, which was a little bit fuller on health, and a little bit further back even. A little bit of a shame that he didn't get even more out of that. Now we do see the follow-up from Hydra. It's going to be a roach push. It's a very common follow-up when you go for this kind of big kind of roach play, big muter play early in the game. Quite often you see players switching into the roaches because to play against the muters you don't necessarily build tanks, and so the roach follow-up can be very powerful if there's not tanks on the map. As you see muters coming in, 2 more go down. Wow, these really have been some very unsuccessful mutalists from Hydra. We're going to be seeing some more creep spread getting picked away at here. So that final consumer just at the top. And you'll see him stimming, just going to turn around, going to start fighting. These Liberators might want to turn and fight. We'll siege up. There's Ravagers there though, so the Corrosive Biles could deal with them very swiftly. Hydra's got Roach Speed, is +1 about to finish if he wants to attack. His timing window is in the very near future before MajOr starts getting into too many siege tanks. Looks as though he's just going to sit back though. He's going to start +1 melee, in fact. +1 carapace alongside it. And tunneling claws as well. So we are going to be seeing now Hydra actually going to decide to go into... now going to decide going into the... kind of later stage of this game. He's not going to attack with these roaches. Interesting, I just look him into the roaches first of all, though. As you see, a little bit of damage done to this right-hand side. A couple of chin-chins are up. Scanning through the center of the map as well. MajOr doing a good job of just keeping kind of Hydra pinned back with the creep spread being killed here. As we'll see, these drops will just load and back away as soon as he runs into trouble. Just going to back away from the situation. Hydra hits the supply block as more overloads go down in the center, though. We do see a few roaches off to the left side from Hydra. They're going to get ready to come forwards and see what they can do as well. As we see, oh, Evo Chamber's under fire. Oh man, +1 melee going to get cancelled here, so that's a big deal. Losing that +1 melee upgrade. MajOr will just go in towards the main base now. He's actually got a big drop ready for the main base. Guess what? He also has Liberators which can come in. So all of a sudden, a lot of units to the main base that Hydra has to defend against. This roach attack here gets a few workers, but that's about it. As we're going to be seeing, well, an extractor going down initially. The roaches will come from the top side to try and fight away from the liberation zones. But there's so many marines. These roaches are going down so quickly. No carapace upgrade means those marines get rid of them so fast here. As we're just going to see him continuing to trade. Another Ravager going down. We're going to see, oh, another Liberator shoots. And it's another Ravager going down as well. Liberators continue to just do so much here. So many roaches going down. We see a couple of Liberators do get cleaned up. Marines going to stem forwards. And in the center of the map, or to the top right towards the 4th base, we see still damage being done. And it's just MajOr winning fights all over the place right now. As we see him coming in, dropping off his units from the main base now in towards the 4th as well. Just joining everything up together again. A roach counter in towards the 3rd, kills off 7 workers. But MajOr is doing more than that over here. 16 workers killed, and Hydra are going to be in a tough position now to continue playing this game with. As we're going to see the medevacs just going to have to keep on thinking as to what sort of direction they go in. This Liberator is still in the main design, mining on the main base too. MajOr, if he takes this 2-1 victory, will it be a good start for him in this group. Of course, he would have to win one more series either against Strange or Marine Lord to have a good chance of advancing through here, as we're going to see those medevacs, all of them pulling back. But guess what? There's just more army ready to go. We haven't even seen the tanks of MajOr come into play yet this game, because he really has just picked Hydra apart with the drop play. He hasn't had to pull his main army across. He sat back very defensively with the tanks while dropping around the map, and it's worked out very well for him. And now as he pushes up here, you see him with an upgrade lead. He's going to have the tanks as well, which makes it an even better trade for him most likely. And interesting to see the medevacs going off to the side. 5 tanks. Oh, this is scary. One Bowed Roach will come forward. We'll actually give him a little bit of information as to where this army is. Hydra still has an okayish army size. It's just with tanks coming up here and so much bio with an upgrade lead as well, it doesn't bode well for him. You can see that first tank shot doing a lot there onto that initial line of roaches. Hydra trying to buy time again. Nice counterattack consistently with these burrowed roaches coming in and just being annoying burrows before we see any of those roaches going down. A scan will catch one of them, but still multiple remain to come in and attack it again at a later point. As MajOr just slowly edging forwards with the rest of this army. Here we go, a couple of tanks going to come right far forwards. He'll lift up, he'll back away with those away from the corrosive biles before dropping down once again. And slowly but surely MajOr just chipping away from this roach kind of Hydra. Scan coming in here, but then roaches are still positioned off to the left hand side. No more damage done just yet. A few workers starting to go down as this bio army finds a way to move a bit further forward. Some Liberators coming in as well. Hydra comes in from the south side as well though for a flank, and he does get a good surround here. It's a good initial fight from Hydra. Problem is, there's still just so much from MajOr, and he is still going to win this fight. It was the best fight Hydra was going to get there. He just took too much damage as the game